first two semifinalists. It's Lucifer versus EPRu.
For as much as I don't like it, I like Golem Baby Dragon just because it's just very effective. It just is a deck that works, right? Especially right now, and I think that both players having that is kind of a not surprised, right? Let's look at the alternate decks. Lucifer has that Giant Bowler Lightning as compared to EPRu's Minor Inferno Tower Goblin Barrel. And my question is, who is going to win the mirror matchup? Right, that's number one. That's definitely something that these players are going to need to be very familiar with. And then the second question is, how are you going to navigate the space with your alternate deck? Because really, that's what double deck format tests, right? It's not just one deck.
Yeah, you can't be good at one.
You get, essentially, okay, Golem Baby Dragon, let's assume you win with that. How are you going to win with the second deck that you bring? Because that's really what's going to be telling about the player.
So against these two players, who do you guys think is going to take it? Who has the upper edge? Or just even based on, not just, let's not take about like in skill and what they've been doing tonight, but the decks alone, who do you think has an advantage?
Bowling.
Okay.
Yeah, buddy. It's going to be really hard. Here's the thing. EnergyPacemaker, EPRu, is going to want to win with his Goblin Barrel deck against the Golem deck. I think that's the better shot for him. If he gets stuck having to go heads up against that Giant Bowler deck, ooh, not a good matchup. Ooh, icky.
It's going to be tough. All right, so if you're Lucifer, what deck you bringing first?
If I am Lucifer, I would start with, that's a good question. I would start with the Golem Baby Dragon deck if you're not really sure how to play against either of his decks, because that's the one that I think is the best suited to give you a victory. If you feel comfortable with the matchups, I would say decide which one is better for you. Probably the Giant Bowler if you know you can get away with it. But
opening with a Golem, very risky maneuver that we don't see that often because, of course, it can backfire. You can get your 8 Elixir torn off the board for less than 8 of your opponents, and then you're in real trouble.
It looks like, however, I actually think Lucifer has a pretty good setup for this. Archers in the back, the Mega Minion is already off the field. The Baby Dragon tags onto the Archers, which is actually not ideal for Lucifer, but his Golem is actually going to make it. It's going to make it to the tower. Doesn't get a swing, but still, that Baby Dragon actually cleans up the Archers. This is a lot of damage.
Look like he's already going for the counter push, although the Mega Minion, oh no, goes backwards, not really where you want him to go.
That was a great starting push for Lucifer. I think the fact that Mega Minion got the runaround by the Ice Golem having to be dragged across the arena really helped Lucifer control that push and get into a situation where he could put his Goblin up against EPRu's tower.
Here's something. Mega Minions look a lot smaller from the back.
They do. They really
just
do.
Next time, just keep that in your mind while you look at this.
They're stocky. They're compact. I don't want to unsee this, but I think unfortunately you've ruined it for me. Let's take a look.
You ruined it. Cannot unsee.
It's EPRu's turn, though, to try to come back. He's going to have to also use the Archers. They're great response by the Baby Dragon. Even though the Baby Dragon is absorbing those Archer shots, you'd think that'd be a bad thing, but it's actually letting those skeletons build up on the Golem and do a ton of damage.
And the Mega Minion, too, does a lot of damage and it'll take down the Archers. Wow. Oh, gets taken down by the Baby Dragon finally.
Still full health.
I wonder how much damage the Baby Dragon does to a tower uncontested.
Uncontested, hard to say. Each shot, 140 or so damage, 130 damage. It's not a ton.
It's not the worst in the world. But
yeah, it adds up. I mean, especially because it has a recently increased fire speed. It got buffed the attack speed not too long ago, and ever since then the sustained damage is much higher.
Tombstone gets cleared off the board, but the Golem counterattack is coming quick, and Lucifer is going to opt to play the fast Golem. He's trying to go under the Golem drop of EPRu. He saw EPRu drop the Golem first, and now he's going to drop his Golem aggressively. It's actually going to make it to the tower, but I cannot see a world where EPRu's Golem is not going to make it to the tower either. There's not so much Elixir left for Lucifer to defend.
Just candy solid for 25 seconds. If this tower goes down, that's all I need to do.
And I think Lucifer has earned himself a left side tower. But, we'll see. Actually, those Archers piled up a lot of damage in the final moments. Golemites do pop, and now the Ice Golem is trying to tank up for the Archers, and I think it will. 10 seconds. It's a race against time, and he needs that Archer to attack on, and it does. There's only 5 seconds left. Go, 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 go. Oh, my God. And he does it.
There's a lot, though, but a tie. Both players taking down tower almost at the same exact time. We are going into overtime here. And already EPRu has a little bit more damage on that King Tower.
Interesting that Lucifer gets first strike, right? Right when overtime hit, Lucifer had actually the Elixir advantage, was able to play his Golem first. So that means that Lucifer's push is going to be relevant before EPRU's does. And really, it's a race.
Especially because EPRU's going the long way.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, he's
Going to the King Tower, right? Yeah. So he's got to travel even further before he's going to get to really make an impact with
Here
it.
comes a log, and Golem is actually going to connect. The timing on the second tombstone was not quite ideal, and EPRU is going to take a bunch of damage. Meanwhile, the King Tower has a lot of extra health, so the fact that this Golem made it might not actually change much for Lucifer. He's going to play the Mega Minion behind his Golem, and this is looking like a strong push. Where is the Tombstone? Where is the Tombstone drop for EPRU? It's not there, and the Golem just makes it. And that is definitely a tower down. I do not think there is a way for this deck to put out enough damage to stop that Golem from actually eliminating the tower.
There it is.
And I think Lucifer has grabbed this game for himself. EPRU is probably going to go down 1 point right now.
With a little log,
13 HP. Just blowing it.
Yeah, cough.
And now he just has to survive until the next log
Or lightning.
which is saving up for it right now. There's
That's
the
it.
6 lightning.
There it is, just like that. Lucifer picking it up there, 1 game closer to that $2,000. But first, he's got to win 1 more with his other deck, then to the finals, and then he's got a deck. But good plays, well plays indeed. That was close.
Yeah, was there a moment that he lost that game, or was it just continued mistakes? What do you think?
The one thing that jumped out to me is EPRU had a really bad lightning when, in that push where the Golem was going on the left side, the one that took nearly 100% of the damage off it left with 45 health left, he lightning just the Golem and a Mega Minion, and that's it, which isn't too impressive. It takes 3 elixir off the board, does some damage to a Golem, but not a huge amount, right? And then in return, he got his Archer's lightning. Well, still 3 elixir, but you also hit the tower, stun it, and that was the only thing dealing damage at that point to the Golem, and that just let the full health Golem go crazy. Every other fight after that was heads up. You know, it was stuff. It was like supporting troops, tanks fighting each other. That was one of the few times that it was just a naked Golem beating on a tower, and it was strong.
And to get there, like you were saying, Randy, is he didn't put a tombstone to stop him. I don't know if do you think he didn't have it in his hand, or did he not have the elixir for it? Was he too focused on offense?
He played Archers instead.
Yeah, it's a really good question. You're always at risk, so Tombstone is in a very similar vein to something like Minion Horde or Skeleton Army on defense. Really, really great defensive card, but definitely there's a big counter to it that actually wipes it off the board completely. Archers are kind of a less effective but much safer drop, because even if your opponent throws spells at it, it's unlikely that the archers will actually be removed. Whereas if you drop Tombstone and it got logged out, then all of a sudden you're down 3 elixir and you have nothing to show for it.
Well, here it is. Look at Goblin Barrel starting right out on the side of EPRU.
Ooh, he has
Lucifer,
log.
1 game away from moving on to the finals. Let's see if he can take it. Or will EPRU be able to come back and tie it up?
I think I can answer Dexmax's question. Nobody pushes the log is dropped.
Oh,
if you look at the animation, it falls from the sky.
Who drops the log from the sky?
Ooh, you got me again. I give up.
Minor Minion Horde is on the way, and it's going to do a ton of damage. Drop the Musketeer into it and drop the Tombstone into it, and now there's a Fireball to punish. I love this deck.
It's so fun. And you're right, he saw the arrows come out early against Princess. Princess is kind of the trap card there, because you want to arrow it. It's a good even elixir trade, or else it just stands back and shoots indefinitely. But you actually want to save your arrows for the Minion Horde, the Goblin Barrel, and try to figure out other ways to kill that Princess, even if it means playing a Musketeer or a Mega Minion at the river and just having him run up and go kill him.
Oh,
it hits
nice.
all
Straight
of
down
them.
the middle. Strike.
Wow.
That is a 7-10 split right there.
There it
Boink,
is.
knock them all out.
Like a pro.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, way forward. It avoids the lightning.
Oh, no, it doesn't. You gotta put it 1 square to the right.
Yeah, that's right. It had to be one, a little further away to the side.
Oh,
but
so close.
I think this Minion Horde is getting so much value. What are you arrows? You can't. You just
You
have to take
arrow
it.
that, but then here comes the minor Goblin Barrel right
And now the
about
Princess
now-ish.
is actually laying onto that right side tower.
How much does Princess do each shot?
130,
40.
140.
It's good. Oh.
I mean, look at that. 1.9k. That's nothing to laugh at.
Yeah.
Of course, damage onto the left side tower means EPRU probably wants to continue chipping away at the left side, but still, a big punish. All right. Mega Minion coming across, and Lucifer, oh, do you have the log? It's a mind game.
Oh, it's behind!
Buller does not take mind games. He's like, I'm gonna kill you.
If you remember my art quarter, you need to know that if you're ever going to play a mind game, you need a mini tank because just the travel time of the goblins is enough to get a lot of them destroyed.
Oh, and he used the arrows, got some elixir value, but look at that giant's already dead-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, now he has skeleton army, and it's actually going to work well against the bowler when it surrounds.
Yes, you're right.
And now there's no log.
Go, Princess, go.
There it is. Minus 2
Look at
mini tank.
this.
It's going to do a lot of damage. Yes!
Myra, get out of the way. We can't see it.
We can't see that. 247.
It's Fireball? Fireball?
Oh,
No,
and good
Fireball
timing
plus
on the
log
mini horde
failure.
drop.
Yes. And he's got to do the arrows again, but that opens them up now to what? Skeleton army?
He needs to throw so many spells, and it's like Lucifer has arrows, has log, has lightning, has all the spells that would be great, but just the fact that he needs to throw all of them back to back to back and keep committing that elixir means that he can't actually support cards like the Giant very well because he doesn't have the elixir to do
It just
so.
wasn't enough.
I like it that Lucifer threw down his log. I love it. As if like maybe he could possibly this one time bounce the log with his log and try to knock it out. But it's not going to happen. EPRu tying up 1-1 against Lucifer. Next match, next game, we'll take it. We'll decide who our first finalist will be.
So what are we playing in the next?
Giant bowler for Lucifer. He's got to play the same
Right,
deck.
gotta win with
up
it.
against EPRU's Golem, Baby Dragon, Lightning deck. Now here's a big advantage. There's no Inferno Tower in the Golem deck. One of the things about beatdown decks that's pretty consistent is that they have a very proactive game plan. They know what they want to do. Their 8 cards all have a role in order to support their main win condition, and they're going to do this. They don't commit a lot of spots to countering other decks because they're just trying to make their plan A be better than your plan A. And the downside is that while it's trying to put together these big tanky beatdowns, they don't really have a lot of cards in it to stop enemy tanky beatdowns. So pretty good chance for the Giant Bowler to pull it out, but Golem might just go over the top too.
Okay, well, tweet at us who you think is going to take this one. What are they?
Giant Bowler and
Giant
Goaler.
Bowler. Goaler? Did you say?
Giant
You
Goaler.
said Goaler.
I'm from the South, darling. Let's speak quickly.
Is the
Mash my
Goaler
words
going to
together.
take this
Speak
one?
quickly.
I'm from the South too. Don't give me that.
We went to the same school.
We literally went to the same university.
The Florida couch.
The Florida couch.
That's it. But yeah, guys, who do you think is going to take it? Will Lucifer move on to the finals? Will it be EPRu? So you think Giant Bowler has the leg up?
Goaler.
The Goaler.
Goaler. Actually, I think EPRU is pretty happy with this matchup. We've seen so many times. The reason why Giant Bowlers had a hard time winning Coronation Days consistently is because they bump into these Golem decks that just are bigger, better, faster, stronger, maybe slower.
Yeah, is it possible if you are the Giant Bowler to take the tower before overtime hits? Is that a
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
possibility?
it's definitely possible. I think that we've seen Giant Bowler today win against Golem deck, and what
was
ended
Lucifer
up
who did
happening-
it.
Yeah, what ended up happening was Lucifer was able to play aggressive early on, take the tower down, and that momentum going into the last minute of double elixir time.
I mean, I think EPRU might want to get the lightning cycle going early. Like, he doesn't want to cast a Golem super early until he has double elixir time. So what do you do during the first 2 minutes of the game? Well, try to get some damage on the tower, try to soften it up, force them to come towards you. And when you spend 6 elixir like that, you get some damage. You also know that your opponent's going to hit 10 first and have to attack into your army.
With that lightning right there in the beginning, did anyone else have a deja vu moment, or is that just me?
Deja vu. I think it was just
me?
you.
Yeah, I don't remember ever seeing
We've
that.
been here for years.
I've told-
You've been trapped while casting the same tournament for...
Gonna take some, have some
Stuck
water.
in a time loop.
Having some water.
That baby dragon did a lot of damage to the musketeer, but how will you actually remove it off the board? No, Mega Minion! Oh, it actually does so much damage. Took down the bowler. Good defense from EPRU. Recovered from throwing 3 elixir away by lightning the Mega Minion and the tower.
A trademark Lucifer play that we've already seen once in this tournament. He might do it again. If the Golem comes down for EPRU, the last card in his deck is the Golem. If that thing gets dropped behind the King Tower, immediately Lucifer goes in the other lane with Giant plus Mega Minion. That's 8 elixir for 8 elixir, but it leaves his opponent with only a few elixir to counter with.
This might be it. Do you have it?
So
And
he
I
might be
don't
focused
think
on
Lucifer
defense.
has it in hand. He's going to put Giant in the same lane. Bowler Musketeer contributing to pushing that Golem health down.
Once the Musketeer pulls off the skeletons, look at that, they're starting to build up and do a ton of damage to that Giant. And he doesn't blow up like the Golem happily does.
Ooh, the Golem will actually explode and makes it to the tower to do a little bit of chip damage.
How long has that Bowler been alive?
Yeah, way too long.
Quite a bit.
He's
gonna
just
keep going.
bowling.
Ooh, the Musketeer squeezes in front and will actually get taken down. And again, good defense by EPRu. I cannot believe that he's actually winning out the trades.
Yeah, I think it's because Lucifer has been playing as Giant. He starts with Bowler behind the King Tower and then Giant at the river instead of Giant behind the King Tower to let you build up all your elixir back and have a little more comprehensive support units. Only 10 elixir is not going to be enough, I don't think, to get through here.
We're already at the point where it's double elixir time, and EPRu is ahead in both tower health and the fact that his deck... Two bowlers is going to do really well defending against that push. Golemites get taken down, and now it's starting to get to be troublesome because EPRu actually cannot remove those bowlers until they come across the rivers, and so Lucifer is actually going to be able to start stacking support units on top of each other.
Wow, these double bowlers are definitely, especially because the higher health ones up front.
Still.
Oh, not anymore.
The Mega Man actually does a great job taking down that first bowler. Ice Golem is going to come through, but the tower is actually not in range, and there's a second bowler.
Non-stop bowler cycle.
The big problem here is EPRu is trading down cards, and Lucifer is maintaining board control essentially by keeping his support units alive, and that earns him a big giant push.
Oh no!
This
Didn't
could
need the
crush the
log for
tower.
what it was worth, but that's still a ton of damage. How are you going to stop that? It only needs 2 more punches.
One, here it is, just like that.
Wow.
The Giant gonna take it down. That was the game that Lucifer was looking for, and he takes it. Moving on to be our first finalist here in Coronation Day number 9.
With his
Lucifer is
bowler cycle deck.
He's really impressing me. We've talked about, we might say, okay, this matchup is like a 70-30 matchup, more favorable for one or the other, but that shows how really smart, dedicated players can play the matchup over and over again and say, all right, here's what everyone else does wrong, and here's what I'm going to do differently to turn an unfavorable matchup into a favorable one. I haven't seen a lot of Giant bowler players try to stack bowlers like that, but it really works.
Was there anything was there anything different about his deck, the Giant bowler deck?
The thing that I think really hurt EPRu was the fact that he was playing the Golem closer. He wanted to make sure that the Golem would swing into action earlier, so he played it closer to the river. Big problem with that is the Golem actually got to the point where the bowler could delay by just throwing boulders at it, and that allowed the first bowler to live long enough for the second bowler to help, allowed the second bowler to delay long enough for the third bowler to help. And once we talk about getting to a critical mass, where you eventually, EPRu tried to trade cards, right? He tried to trade Mega Minion for the Musketeer, Baby Dragon for another thing, but EPRu maintained board control, and he has so many units left on the board.
Let's see our first replay with Golem Lightning.
Yeah.
Lightning.
What a good combo. Never seen this before?
Never seen this before. There's
No
a Golem.
deja vu here.
What's coming up next, Christian?
I think it's gonna be log. Here's the log. Look at it raining down from the sky.
It's not a log. It's,
Big Golem Lightning.
there it is.
Oh, there's a log. See, I was right.
Oh, there is a log. That was the log from EPRu, but Lucifer with that big lightning gonna earn him the opportunity to put that tower down to, I believe, 13 health at once.
And here's the bullet. Now, actually, one of the famous things we're going to see here is we've seen the log try to knock down tombstones. Watch this. The bowler does the log maneuver, kills the tombstone and the skeletons coming out all in one slick little move. And it was so effective at getting that full health Giant to the tower. Didn't even need to log out. I mean, threw a log away and it still won the game.
Yeah, there it is. Lucifer again. Congratulations. You are moving on to our finals, which just leaves Chief Mystical and Jewish Panda up. Let's go ahead and pull up the bracket so far because we do have our first finalist. Now that Lucifer is in, he has moved on. Chief Mystical, Jewish Panda, who do you think is going to join him?
There's the comical answer, and then there's the interesting answer.
There's the answer that everyone in the back before we started said, oh, I want the finalist to be. We'll let you guys guess who that is, but it's almost there. Half of it's filled out.
I think it's actually, I don't know how the double Hog Rider deck is going to do against Expo. You think that normally the thing that scared Expo out of these coronation days has been the Giants, the Royal Giants,
Definitely
the Golems.
not the Hog Rider.
Yeah, although we have seen some Hog Lightning decks do well, I'm not sure how well it's going to work here, especially because if you try to put too many things behind your King Tower,
Yeah, he's got
right?
Rocket. That's right. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up the